All right, hello everyone and welcome. My name is John, and in this video I want to walk you through the methods I use to go from a mother plant to this pot here that has at least 20 separate individual plants. Now this is one of the easiest propagation projects I've ever done, so I just want to share the method that I used because I'm sure this will help some of you out there in a similar situation. Okay, so the really short version is this. I was repotting the mother plant. I harvested all the bulbils I could see. I took a clear container, I added a layer of leca to the bottom. Then I added a bunch of sphagnum moss. Then I threw all the bulbils in, covered them with more moss, and I would water it just so the water goes down the side of the container straight to leca, and the rest was just all getting distributed by capillary action. So I threw that in the humidity bin, and here we are. I'm not sure if this is 100% success rate. I won't know until I start to dig these up, but over 90%, guaranteed. So, for those of you who want a little more information, let's get into it. Okay, so I got this variegated Alocasia like several years ago, 3 or 4, and it never really got big because like anytime it would start doing well, it would put out like 4 or 5 white leaves and then would kind of like lose energy and then would like try again, and like it kept doing that for a while. And then one year, the mother plant shot up like 8 to 10 pups, and they were all growing in a pot together. And at first I was like, yeah, bushy, this is gonna be so cool as they're all growing up. But they kind of stalled out in size after several months or so. There's just too many of them in there competing. But then something interesting happened. The mother plant started growing like smaller leaves, and then like tiny leaves, like way smaller than these. And then it died. So the pups had like taken over the pot, and I guess they choked the mother plant up. So I decided to repot and just take my favorite one, give it this full 2-gallon pot to use on its own. And in the process of that, there were a lot of bulbils in that pot, the little baby corms that the new ones will grow from. And some of them already had roots. None of them had any leaves yet, but some of them were actually already rooted. So I harvested all of those, and I counted more than 20. I want to say it was either 23 or 24. I don't have a good picture to go back and verify that, but over 20 for sure. So I had an empty peanut butter jar, and I did what I said earlier. Layer of leca, sphagnum moss, throw the bulbils in there, keep it moist. And within a month, they were rooting, and it was working well, but they were like distributed too much on top of each other, and some had like fallen like 4 inches deep, and they were gonna struggle to reach the surface. So I took those out and I transferred them into this 6-inch deep saucer. So I just put a really thin layer of leca down here, mostly moss, and then I threw all the bulbils in again, just like a 1/2 inch or to 1 inch from the surface. And so that has allowed them to start poking through right away. And at this point, it's been about 3.5 months. It's a little more than 3 months. These things are growing super well. They would be a lot bigger, I'm sure, if there weren't so many of them. But I have a trip coming up soon, and so I don't want to pot these up yet because I don't want to ask my roommate to water 20 separate baby alocasias when they could just water this one saucer for the couple weeks while I'm gone. So all in all, extremely easy. Very easy and awesome. Now I have all of these. I can sell them, I can trade them, I can give them to friends. And it was all just a side effect of a repot I was already going to do. I already wanted to do a repot. And so I picked this one. It was my favorite. It had the biggest root system. All the other pups I sold or gave away. And then literally more than 20 bulbils just right there, and boom, explosion. Now this is the second time I've done this. I made a video years ago called Alocasia Explosion, And I had an Alocasia regal shields at that time. I harvested a bunch of bulbils. I don't remember which growing medium I used, but I do remember that the success rate in that video was very similar, like over 90%. So next time you repot your Alocasia, you find those bulbils in there, pluck them off, throw them in a clear container. I get this at you can get these at Home Depot or Lowe's here in the United States. It's just a standard 6-inch saucer, but deeper. And that has worked super well. These live in my humidity bin, so they have high humidity and decent LED lighting. And yeah, I hardly put any effort into this at all. And the success rate was amazing. Okay, so I just wanted to share that, and I hope that helps you. If you have questions about it, just let me know. And if you have other methods you've tried and you want to share those for people in the comments, please feel free. So far, this is my favorite, and I would do it this exact same way again with the leca and the moss. So I would recommend you all try that next time you have the opportunity. But if you think you know a better way, then please share. All right, so I just want to thank you so much for being here, watching these videos, supporting me and my channel in this way. I really hope everything goes well with you and your plants. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you back here for another video real soon. Peace.